First off, Magneto was right. Just wanna get us started.
Yeah, nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Fucking love this shirt.
That's a dope ass shirt, dog. Secondly, I keep hearing Magneto was right. I need to hear about what?
Well, he was right about like the people that were in charge doing the thing that they did.
It could be Magneto was right about playing Uno and how you actually can put a draw four on top of another draw four.
No, I think the emphasis is that he was right about the people who were racist against mutants. That they were going to find a way to wield their power against the mutant race.
And the problem with that is this. In that regard, Magneto is definitely 100% right. The bigot's going to bigot.
Yeah.
However,
it's almost like there's an allegory or something.
I wonder what that could possibly be talking about.
I can't quite place it, but if we figure it out, homies.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
We'll let you know.
If there's any sort of like allegorical meaning behind the X-Men, if there's any sort of overlap or, display on reality, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah. To change gears just a second, though.
Yeah.
So on Monday, we reviewed the stellar Minecraft movie.
And we reviewed the one that just came out.
Yes. The one that just came out. And I think as like a trauma response, both of our brains immediately started to just delete shit. And we kind of forgot that we got an extended Superman trailer.
Yeah.
Right before it.
Yes.
And we haven't talked about it at all.
We haven't. So that was actually my second time seeing that trailer.
Oh, see, I had never seen that. I didn't know.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago when you said that we were supposed to get a new Superman trailer during, I think, CinemaCon, you technically were not wrong. I think that afterwards is when James Gunn dropped that extended look at the movie. So that's when I saw it. And, what'd you think of it, man? So,
when we originally saw it in the theater, so just to let you guys know, and like, there's going to be mild spoilers here for the trailer only. We haven't seen the movie yet, but essentially, like, it's kind of an extended version of the teaser we already got, which them saying something's a teaser now is crazy because, like, to me, a teaser is like 15 seconds. Where we got the Thunderbolts teaser, and it was like 4 minutes long or whatever. And this is supposed to be like a Superman special look or something. And so we get this like extended sequence from the original trailer, right? Where we get this look at, is it the North Pole or is it Antarctica? Where the fortress?
Antarctica.
Okay. Yeah. It's Antarctica. And
I guess it depends on where the polar bears are.
That's right, because he's got to have polar bear guards, which we don't see in the trailer, folks. Hate to disappoint you. If that's a deal breaker for you, take it up with James Gunn. We had no creative input over this. So it's an extended version of that. We see him fall into the ice. He's hurt AF. He calls Crypto, and Crypto is a puppy, and he's doing puppy shit.
Fucks him up even more.
He fucks him up way worse. He finally gets Crypto to bring him into the fortress, and we get this kind of cool animation where apparently this version of the fortress like completely submerges when it's not being used, which is kind of a cool effect.
Pretty nifty.
Crypto comes up and he drags Clark inside, where a small army of robots, voiced by Alan Tudyk, retrieves him, and they put him on a table, and they're like, looking at him and everything, and they're like, oh, he's got like 17 fractures and then damage to like his liver, spleen, kidneys. I was like, there ain't that many people that can fuck Superman up like that, for one. And then they're like, oh, a nice healthy dose of yellow sun. And I'm like, won't that just be the fix for anything that could be wrong with him?
And I remember in the trailer, I leaned over and I said, it's like when your grandma gives you ginger ale and Robitussin.
Yeah, yeah.
This will fix anything.
This will fix anything. Yeah, or some Vicks.
Some Vicks. Put some Vicks on your chest and put a sweater on.
Yeah.
Drink this ginger ale and go lay down and watch Price is Right.
It's like, Oh, Grandma, I got a fucking stage 2 concussion and my nose is broke. And I can't see out my left eye. Oh, come over here. Put some Vicks on your chest.
Yeah. Take some of this Robitussin.
Yeah, take some of this Tussin.
And take some of this Tussin. Go lay down on the couch.
Now, the only thing that I really took issue with in this trailer, and I watched it again today, and I've kind of changed my mind on it. When we saw this in the theaters, it kind of, to me, so they like magnified the sun. They have like a series of like magnifying glasses, and they use it to like give him like a concentrated beam of yellow sun. And in the trailer, when I first saw it, it kind of to me looked like it was like burning him. And I was like, that's not...
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no.
But I watched it back today, and I think it's actually more of like, it's his like bones snapping back together and shit. So I didn't really get that opinion when I watched it the second time and paid more attention. But when I saw it the first time and it was like the sun was burning him, I'm like, dog, he can like sit inside the sun.
Yeah. And get stronger.
And get stronger. Like, there's no amount of sun, of yellow sun anyway, that like would harm him. But I imagine like all your bones and shit cracking back together probably hurts.
And I'm glad you bring that part up, right? Because the internet's going to internet, and they interneted again. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Like, why is he yelling in pain? Like, the sun fixes him. And I was like, if you had 8 broken ribs and contusions and all this other bullshit, and suddenly it's all mended back together, that's just going to feel funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it makes him immune to pain.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I get it. I think that I hope that some sense will prevail, but I mean, admittedly, when I first watched it, just seeing it in the theater like that, I kind of felt the same way. Like it, I was like, this didn't make sense, but here we are.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it, man?
I dug it. I really like the vibe of it. And it seems like, and this is me really putting on my detective lenses here, it seems like he was just in a really intense, serious fight. And now we're getting the come down moment afterwards, where we get a little bit of levity and lightheartedness and humor in that James Gunn fashion, because we see one of the bots, voiced by Alan Tudyk, said, "No need to thank us. We're not programmed to have any emotions, blah blah blah." And then he goes, "This is number 12. She's new." And she immediately goes, "Oh my gosh, she smiled at me." And I think like the meaning in that went over a lot of people's heads too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. But like shit like that, I'm like that was pretty good. I want to address also like what could have kicked Superman's shit in like that. Could it have been the giant ambiguous monster that we see in the trailer?
I feel like probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, if that big ass thing can like backhand Clark and do that kind of damage and send him flying like that, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot to me.
A little bit.
For just this mysterious creature. I mean, the homie Dylan and I were talking about it a little bit in the theater, as to what could do that to him. I was like, well, they're not going to use Darkseid, but Darkseid can fuck him up like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the difference is, like, unless Darkseid is busy, he'd probably be there to finish the job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but Darkseid's not going to do that and then just be like, well, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, he would land shortly after Superman to continue beating that ass.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, Batman is flying behind him and, like, he's playing chess with Batman while he's whooping Superman's ass. He's losing.
Yeah.
But that's not every time Batman like takes a piece, he hits Clark hard as a motherfucker.
Clark is like, Bruce, stop.
Please. Do not let him cook.
I leaned over to the homie Oz and in the theater, and he asked me, like, because he asked the same question, what the fuck did that to Superman? And I said, my original guess from watching the trailer, which is I think is like the amalgamation of Ultraman and Bizarro. I think that is who that is in that all black head to toe suit. There is like a letter U on the chest almost if you look at it. But yeah, I think it's probably like some kind of fucked up man-made version of Superman, who they call Ultraman, and I think he's so fucked up that he's more of a Bizarro type thing, which is why he's covered and you can't see him.
Probably Lex behind this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I would rage it to bed. It's probably Lex. We also get another brief shot of Green Lantern. Kind of. He's way off in the distance and he's fighting the monster. And you see like a beam of green light shoot at the thing. So he's.
I'm gonna tell you now. If that thing hit Superman like that, and that's what did that to him. Hal, well, it's not Hal. It's Guy. Mm-hmm. Guy should not be there. He should leave. Because if he takes that same hit,
it's gonna be
I don't think his
lantern
shield is good. I think it's gonna go right through that, and then right through him. He's probably gonna explode.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. You know what else though? We also now know that Guy Gardner more than likely actually survives this movie because he is going to be in the Lantern TV show. It could be a flashback.
That's true.
But,
my money would be on him dying, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Just because he always kills him.
He does. He does. That's just so fucked, though.
To any of you who are listening to the audio version, if you listen to our Minecraft review, Q is in the room. He is on it.
I was able to stick it out for a good 25 minutes before my brain said, "We're not reliving this anymore."
Yeah, that is definitely the least amount of voice lines you have ever had for an episode.
That's not true. I had less on the Ninja Turtles review
because you weren't on it.
Okay,
at all.
Well, if we're looking at technicalities, then
I even double checked the IMDb page just to make sure that I was remembering that correctly.
Yeah, guys, definitely go check out our review of a Minecraft movie. I promise you, no matter what you think, it is way better than the Minecraft movie itself.
Yeah, check out the review. Maybe not so much on the movie.
Yeah, If you still want to see the movie after watching or listening to our review, listen to it again.
Yeah. Keep listening to a review until you're sold on the fact that you don't want to go watch that movie. Because I'm going to tell you now, if you don't know anything about Minecraft, you will not like it. If you know a lot about Minecraft, you will not like it. If you know a little bit about Minecraft, you still probably will not like it. We had a broad spectrum of different levels of experience with Minecraft, and no one liked it.
Yeah, I think the highest score was a 5.
Was a 5.
Yeah.
And that was from Oz.
And
you always got to take about 1 point off of his score.
One of these days we have to do a homie index and see like how many points should be added to and or deducted depending on what homie is scoring it.
Yeah.
Like if it's Brendan, it depending on the movie, probably -5 points.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Any throwback series, Brendan's -5. Yeah. Yeah. I wish we had all of that data. I really do. Because it would just be really. It would take a long time to get it all, if we were to make said crazy ass spreadsheet. However, the longer that we don't do it, the longer it will take to do it. So
that's the shitty part about procrastination.
Yeah, it is. We could just say fuck it and we just decide okay, on this day we're gonna start recording our scores.
That's true. You know what? That would be interesting to do. How many movie reviews have we done so far this year?
Oh.
It's been a lot.
It's been at least 20.
Yeah.
And it's only April.
Yeah, and it's only April. That's the crazy part about it. Because I was thinking, I can go back to the beginning of the year because surely there's not that many movies we reviewed and then just take take notes of the scores that we did.
It can't be 20, right? So it's got to be like what, Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Brave New World.
Yep. Minecraft.
What else came out this?
Batman Ninja 2.
Batman Ninja 2.
You said Fantastic Four already, didn't you?
Nope, the 94 Fantastic Four. That's 6. And then we have our 2 Andor reviews.
Yep.
We have, including tonight, we would have 8 Born Again reviews.
Yeah,
so
if we're throwing in the TV show reviews, it's going to be
that takes us up to 16.
Yeah.
And that would make sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Well, speaking of Daredevil.
That's right.
That is the reason why we are here today. But before we get too far, proper introductions are in order. So, homies, one and all, welcome back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies Podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the world's greatest co-host. I'm talking about none other than the homie Caleb, and some say that he was right.
I was. I don't know about what, but I was. Yes, that's right, folks. I am back in action. Here we are. I am in the middle of trying to kick my horrible addiction to sodas and caffeine. So if my brain is not quite there tonight like it normally is, if that just level of just wit seems to be missing, that's what happened.
I think I'll only be concerned if in mid-sentence you start talking like Dr. Doom from 1994, Fantastic Four. I'll be like, all right, folks, and that's going to be all for this one.
It's like, well, then Matt goes down and he's
and you start doing a bunch of spirit fingers and shit. Yeah.
So Matt was out defending Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. No, yeah, man. We are tonight. We're reviewing the next to the last, the penultimate episode of Daredevil: Born Again. It's almost over, and it seems like it just got here. Can I get 35 more episodes, please?
One of the old writers is like, "That's what we tried to give you guys."
Yeah. So I want to go ahead and touch on that because it's been highly speculated, and I'm inclined to agree with this, that episodes 2 through 7, that's where they got to. So, the majority of those episodes was written and done by the old team, and, that's how far they got before Kevin Feige was like, no, fuck you guys. And so, this team, they completely shot episode 1, and they completely shot 8 and 9, and then they went back and made edits to 2 through 7 to make it all kind of jive. And I buy into that, actually.
I do, too. What does that make you think, then, about the quality of what was the previous Born Again show?
Honestly, I don't know that it would have been. Okay, so, them ignoring the Netflix continuity is the main problem I have with it.
Yeah.
Because that's stupid. Mm-hmm. I honestly, if I had to go out and guess, I think we have X-Men 97 to thank for this.
Really?
Because everyone said, oh, they're going to continue a TV show from 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. Or actually, at this point, more than that, 28 years? And that shit's not going to work. They should have just started over with a brand new X-Men cartoon. And they said, fuck y'all, and they made X-Men 97. They picked up from right where the cartoon left off on Fox all those decades ago.
Yeah.
And I think Kevin Feige was like, well, if they can do that, then we can certainly pick up our 6-year-old Netflix show storyline.
For me, I think it was probably a thing of the old guard, and hell, Kevin Feige was part of the old guard.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of them being like, that show doesn't really suit the tone they were looking for here.
Yeah.
Because they even said that they wanted to take a more lighthearted approach to their Born Again show. And I think it's probably most evident in the bank heist episode like there are moments of that feel like the rest of the show, and then there's moments that feel much more lighthearted. Not in a bad way, but it just feels different.
Yeah.
To me, that's probably the most evident that I've seen of where they probably spliced the old shit with the new.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I do think that there is some credence to that theory that's been going around, like you said, about how they probably filmed up until that point, completely reshot episode 1, and then the penultimate and finale.
Yeah.
I mean, that completely tracks because think about the episodes that we see Dex in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we see him in episode 2, don't we? Isn't that when he goes to?
Yeah. They at the very beginning of that they have his like trial.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing that the
probably,
new team shot that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Dex was in the show at all.
I don't think so either, which is crazy.
I don't think Karen was in the show at all.
Right.
I don't think Foggy was in the show at all,
Yep.
which, you know. Full spoilers, folks. Full spoilers. Yeah, man. This episode, though, like, I thought, I had no idea what to expect going into this. And I think that they hit another home run, man.
Yeah, this was tremendous. And I thankfully was able to avoid all spoilers for this episode because I just watched it earlier today.
Yeah, I popped in your inbox. I wasn't sure if you had watched it yet. Because, like, I was sitting there at, like, 8:58 refreshing Disney Plus. Like, come on, dog. Come on, man. I need some more again. And it's like, as soon as it, like, came up, I pressed it. And, like, I'm sitting there just, like, glued to the screen. And, like, as soon as it's over, I was like, he probably hasn't seen it yet. So I was just like, born again.
And I was like, oh, I bet this is a banger.
Yeah.
And it absolutely is. I won't even sugarcoat it or, try to hide it. This was another really great episode. This is episode 8, and it is called Isle of Joy.
I gotta say that, in a way, it doesn't exactly work like this, but it's almost like all of the episodes we've seen since 1 is kind of like, it's like they gave us kind of all these different pieces of Matt, right? Like, they have specifically focused on his Catholic guilt.
Yep.
They've specifically focused on his senses or his abilities. I thought the bank heist episode was probably one of the best examples we've gotten of that.
Yep.
They specifically focused on the like dichotomy of his relationship with Fisk and vice versa. They specifically have shown us his ability to kick ass with Muse, and even some of his detective skills, And then I feel like in this episode, we got to see all of it. Yeah. We got to see the whole picture. Pretty much everything except for him actually being in the suit. We kind of got to see the whole, like, kind of gamut of who Matt Murdock is.
Yeah, and to see so many different facets of the Matt Murdock character was pretty intriguing. And again, like you said, because they were able to juxtapose it with Fisk. And, I mean, we'll get there, but I feel that tonight's episode was when we finally saw, like, all the similarities between the two characters, we saw, like, a divergence.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty interesting. So, yeah, great fucking episode, man.
It is a storytelling masterclass because and this is so difficult, I think, to do in today's world because I feel like audiences at this moment in time, I feel like we've gone through so much experimentation and subversion of expectations, just all these kind of things that don't really work, right? It's like there's kind of like a backlash to things being too familiar or too normal. So it's like, well, then we're just going to go in the complete opposite direction.
Right.
And make sure that there's no way you can predict or expect anything, but it also isn't going to make any sense.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now, like, as a whole, audiences want, they want the right amount of familiar and the right amount of new.
Yep.
Like, it's like, you can give me a thing that blows my mind, and you can give me a thing that I'm like, I never thought I saw that coming, but you have to mix in enough this is familiar for it to not feel like you're doing the other thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like this episode nailed that shit.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, I think that it kind of baffles me that there's so many people out there that seem to not enjoy this show. I can't really put my finger on it, and the funny thing is, neither can they really. But it's just one of those interesting things because, you know, there's people who claim that they really enjoy the Netflix series as we did, and then they watch this and there's just a disconnect. And I'm not sure where it comes from. What do you think it is?
Honestly, man, I think it's a vocal minority, right? Like, I think a lot of people really like this show. Yep. I think it's a big hit for Disney. I don't personally know anyone that doesn't love it. And I mean, yeah, that's anecdotal or whatever, but I think a lot of people just had it in their head that Disney could not produce a product that is on the level with the Netflix show. And they're completely wrong. This is evidence of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people were maybe not thrilled that we didn't get him in the suit till what, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, because number one, that happens in the Born Again story, that the comics, you know, that's based on. So Daredevil is a comic book series, folks, and this is actually based on that comic book series. I don't know if everyone knew that.
It's a fun fact.
It's a fun little fact there. But I think that maybe plays into it is that, you know, people were expecting this kind of like, let's hit the ground running, fucking hell yeah, Daredevil, whatever. And this show is asking you to invest. It's a slow burn.
Yeah. But
it is worth it. You
Absolutely.
know? Very similar to when we reviewed Andor.
Yeah.
And I would even argue that like that show's got a slower burn than this show does.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I would agree with that. And I also have to say this, man, for what it's worth, I think that this episode produced my favorite F-bomb from Disney yet.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, we'll get there, but the way that Matt just delivers that fucking line.
Yeah.
So much vitriol. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Great. Matt was off the chain here in this episode, dude. So let's see, where do we start in this episode? How do
we start with Dex in prison.
That's right. And as soon as they showed him, I was like, this motherfucker's gonna get out.
He was like, I don't know how, but he's not gonna be in here.
Yeah. Like when these credits roll at the end of this episode, he's not gonna be in these walls. More than likely.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, so this episode does start with good old Benjamin Lester Poindexter in prison, and he has been escorted to Gen Pop, general population area. And at first, I was wondering, wouldn't this be kind of a Rorschach thing, if anything? You know, like, yeah. I'm not sticking with you, you're sticking with me. And then I was like, why would this be so bad for Bullseye? But then I remembered in season 3, he started off as a cop, right?
Yeah, he was an FBI agent.
Yeah, so that's kind of...
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when they put him in there, they're like, enjoy Agent Poindexter.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
So, I can't imagine that going too well. The thing they didn't think about, though, is that you put him in Gen Pop, even though there's, like, supposed to be no contraband, anything the man touches, as is evident later on in the episode, is contraband.
Yeah.
For him,
instantly is a weapon.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, if someone attacks him, he can just kill him. And then he can use their like bones, teeth, etc. Yeah. Fingernails.
Does not matter. Yeah.
So an interesting thing we found out about Dex here was that other than like them fusing his skeleton or whatever. Or just his spine. He doesn't have like a full like Wolverine treatment or whatever. But his vision is greatly enhanced.
Yeah.
And I actually really love that.
Me too.
Because this idea that it just to juxtapose him with Matt, who is blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going up against Bullseye, who now not only has the insane precision, but he also has superhuman vision as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't provide him with real supervision because he gets out later on.
No, I got it, man.
Because he's got the enhanced eyesight, so that's supervision, but he doesn't have actual supervision like people watching over him. I'm hit it again.
No, I understood all of it.
Oh, okay.
You didn't need to hit the button either time.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, you didn't laugh, so I figured you didn't get it.
No. I got it. I put it all together pretty quickly, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, it was for the homies.
Yeah, of course.
They throw good old Dex and general population with the rest of the other prisoners. Meanwhile, Fisk is taking a walk with Vanessa, and they discuss them actually getting funding for the Red Hook operation. And that Red Hook operation was really just to make things easier for transportation and distribution of certain
substances,
products, certain things that people will do for their recreational uses,
right?
And probably guns too.
Yep. Don't forget weapons.
Yeah, of course. Vanessa and Fisk seem to be, and this is really for me where the fracture and the similarities between Fisk and Daredevil start to kind of split.
Yeah.
Because Vanessa and Fisk, they seem like they're actually starting to mend things here.
Yeah.
And then we quickly go to Matt and Heather, and their relationship is starting to fucking fracture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Matt. So here's the thing, right? Is I'm surprised that Heather didn't die, but she's not going to be around for the long haul. Mainly because Matt doesn't trust her.
Yeah.
He hasn't told her that he's Daredevil. And if he had done that prior to now, she probably wouldn't feel the way she feels about these, vigilantes. But, I mean...
It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, no matter how you go, though.
Right. But, with Matt, it's it's on another level from, a Peter Parker. Because Matt is pretending to be... I mean, he is blind, but he is pretending to be, disabled blind on a regular basis. Just imagine how many, little lies he has to tell her every day.
Yeah.
To keep up the,
charade.
So... Whew.
It's got to be exhausting.
Yeah, it's got to be exhausting for him, and then when she finds out, she's going to leave.
Oh, yeah,
she's gonna be like, what the fuck, man?
Best case scenario, she leaves. Now, I'm probably going to make this joke again when we get there, but I found it, terrifyingly hilarious when I looked at, our discussion from last week episode. And, because you were talking about how, you think that there's a good chance that Vanessa or Heather or both of them could die. And I was like, well, the good thing for Heather, I said almost exactly, the good thing for Heather is that Bullseye is locked up. And Bullseye has a thing for killing Matt's girlfriends.
Yeah. and now, he is not.
And now he's not. So, yeah. We'll see what happens with that. This conversation, though, between Matt and Heather is very tense because she's saying all the shit that is only irritating Matt. All the wrong shit that irritates Matt.
Yeah.
And that's just causing Matt to retreat even further and further, into himself and from telling her the truth, which I agree he probably should have done, but it's tricky though, right? Because up until, canonically speaking, a week ago, he wasn't Daredevil.
Yeah.
And now he kind of sort of is again, And so it is tricky because he is both trying to defend himself as Daredevil, but also trying to convince her that Fisk is a no good, rotten, dirty son of a bitch.
Right.
In the words of JR.
Son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch. That man's got a family, damn it. But yeah, so Heather, she's just convinced that Daredevil is like. She says something along the lines of Daredevil being every bit as bad as Muse. Like they're both just boys playing at a game.
And Matt's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Matt's like, what the fuck?
It's not even if. It's when she finds out that he's Daredevil. What do you think her reaction is going to be?
She's immediately just going to be like, you piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Like,
how many lies have you told me?
Yeah. Yeah, he's thinking in her mind that she's going to be like, oh, thanks for saving me.
Yeah.
And that's not even going to cross her mind, man, because in her opinion, she saved herself. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, Matt was there because, like she would be dead if Matt had not intervened.
Yes.
But from the moment that Matt got in there, like, I'm not saying he's not there for her as well, but, like, he's over here enjoying his fight with Muse, you know?
Because he probably could have ended that fight quicker if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. and this is why she kind of feels the same way, right? And it doesn't help that you have all the propaganda on TV every day from the mayor. And Fisk is one of her clients. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, you know, he's putting on an act for her.
Oh, yeah.
And even Vanessa, you know, has told her on the side that she's safe with him and everything. So in her mind, I mean, she doesn't really think that Fisk is this awful person. She's buying into the bullshit with Fisk. So, yeah, I mean, Matt is kind of losing from all sides here.
Yeah. And I think it also speaks to Heather's ability or inability as like a therapist. Like, your number one job is supposed to be able to like read and decipher people to a degree.
Yeah.
you on a regular basis deal with 3 people who are not stable.
Right. Yeah.
Technically 4 until Muse died.
That's true. Yeah, like you didn't see that motherfucker coming. You had a fucking serial killer.
Right.
A creepy ass serial killer for a patient.
Like, yeah, 3 of your clients are mass murderers.
Yeah. Yep.
And your boyfriend is dresses up as the devil.
Yeah.
And beats the shit out of people.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And sometimes kills them.
Has he killed anyone yet?
Well, I mean, he didn't technically kill Dex. Dex lived.
No. Yeah, he didn't kill Dex. I mean, he didn't try not to kill Dex.
That's true. He threw that motherfucker off a roof.
Yeah.
He killed Nobu.
Oh, yeah. Nobu's supposed to be like a immortal ninja or some.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't count?
Yeah, he's probably fine.
Okay.
He's probably fine, you know. Oh, man. Yeah, so Fisk is this was wild because I didn't expect to get this scene right here, right now, but Fisk takes Vanessa to Adam.
Yeah, I thought this was early too. Mm-hmm. And I like how a lesser writing team would have had Fisk elaborately explain this whole scenario. But that's not a real conversation these two humans would have.
Right.
He just takes her down there and there's a key and a gun on the table. Mm-hmm. And she knows that he's like, I promised you I wouldn't kill him. So either you're going to or you can let him free. That's your choice.
Yep. And
she murders the shit out of Adam.
Yep. Poor Adam, man. Like, he had a shitty couple months.
Yeah. If anything, if I was trapped down there, I'd probably be glad it's over with.
That's true. I wonder if Fisk ever went down there again with like that similar proposition, like, here's an axe,
yeah,
and defend yourself against me. Like, I wonder if that escalated any further.
He probably did about 20 times. Here's this pocket knife. Yeah. I've brought you a flamethrower, Adam.
This is a fully fueled chainsaw, Adam.
And he just keeps bringing them shit.
Yeah. Adam's like, can we just play like 2K or something or Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Can I beat you in that maybe?
And then we just, kind of.
No, Adam. Yeah, so yeah, she kills the shit out of Adam though.
Yeah.
So nice knowing you there, Adam.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Adam.
Bye-bye. Good old Buck delivers a letter to Heather from Fisk, and Matt is asking all the right questions. Well, how the fuck did he know to send this here?
Yeah, how do you know this motherfucker? And all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, he quickly just, he figures out, motherfucker, Fisk is a client. And then he starts immediately trying to explain to her, he only went to you because he's trying to keep tabs on me, and she doesn't know he's Daredevil. Yeah. So he just sounds like a complete fucking lunatic to her.
Yes, he sounds like a crazy man right now. And for the rest of the episode, he sounds like that to Heather.
Yeah. and to me a few times.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, this would be so much easier if she knew. But then there's always that chance, because where is the point of no return?
Right.
Like, if Matt were to tell her in this moment that he's Daredevil, is their relationship salvageable?
Right.
And then if it's not salvageable, then what happens with that information? So he's not a client, so she can snitch on him.
That's true.
So I don't know, man. Shit can get different.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, though, if you're to the point where, if it was me, right, if I'm Matt and I'm going to get to the point where I'm, living with somebody, then they got to know. Mm-hmm. Mainly because, I'm going to be too lazy to pretend to be a blind person the whole time I'm at my house.
A normal blind person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit would get kind of old after a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's like, I can't even get up in the middle of the night and go pee without finding my fucking walking stick.
Right.
And, playing that shit up. No, I got to pee, dog. I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, maybe, you know what? When I get up to go pee in the middle of the night, it's pitch black. And I just hope that I hadn't moved anything out of the ordinary. So I imagine Matt probably does the same thing, and she doesn't think anything of it.
Well, maybe not, but especially when he was cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
And you see him be feeling around no, dog, you can just reach over there and grab that carrot.
Right. Yeah.
You can hear the carrot growing.
Oh. I also want to point out this small thing, and it's that we never hear Matt use any of his senses to detect whether or not Heather is lying.
Yeah.
When he asked her, is Fisk your client, he couldn't listen to her heartbeat and get a definite. He put all the clues together, but if he wanted to know for a fact, he could have just listened in.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do that here.
Yeah, when he gets to the office, man, he's still in crazy person mode.
Oh, yeah. So on the letter that Buck gives to Heather, it's an invitation to the Black and White event.
And I love this too, because she's like, well, he's like, well, you're not seriously considering going, and she's like, why wouldn't I go? And then she later on is like, well, are you gonna come with me? And he's like, I wasn't invited. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, it says and guest. And he's just like, fuck. That's not where he dropped the F-bomb. Yeah. But he could have.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if she said, well, actually, man, in parentheses it says, and if you have any bitch-ass blind boyfriends, he can come too. It's really specific that he wrote.
Yeah, very specific.
Yeah. I don't know why he would have wrote that on here. Oh, man. The next thing we get here is Matt does go to the office, and Kristen has no good news for Matt here.
Nope.
First of all, there's a bunch of bullshit going on with the firm.
Yep.
That's just added stress on top of Matt's already high stress. And then he gets even worse news that good old Benjamin Poindexter himself wants to talk with Matt. That he is in Gen Pop.
Yep.
And he wants to sit down.
And Matt's like, bitch.
What the fuck? And she probably should have waited to tell him that, But she doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know that he's already off the rails.
Yeah.
And then they go talk to this client.
Man, look, this Matt snaps at this client.
Yeah.
Matt's you lying sack of shit.
Yeah. Uses his senses to tell this dude's lying. He immediately calls him out for it, which, I mean, there are more tactful ways to do this as a lawyer. you just be like, look, you got to be straight with me if I'm going to defend you. Like, I don't care, but if you did it, tell me you did it, and I can defend you that way. And I mean, technically, that is what they're supposed to do, because they can still get charged for perjury if it's proven that they knew you were going to give false testimony.
Yeah.
So, but it's the line after he snaps on this guy and they go back into the hallway. I love this line that he gives.
Is it about we're not serving justice?
Yeah, he says, we're not serving justice, we're babysitting chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, I also thought that line was dope, too. That's why I wrote it down.
Yeah.
So that's a great line.
That shit imprinted on me so hard, I didn't even have to write it down. I have nothing here. I just remembered it. I was like, I'm going to use that shit.
Yes. That was a great line, though. Love that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's right. Like, you look at everything that's going on right now, and it's everything that they can do within the realms of the law to keep everything together,
Yeah. I actually think Daredevil's using his senses outside right now.
Right. It's a loud ass car outside.
Yeah, somebody just got some new speakers and they trying to test them out. But
oh man.
Yeah, man. Things don't seem like they're going well at work at all, and she's very pissed at him.
Yeah, she's super pissed right now. Kristen is. I'm gonna be mad as hell if this shit picks up on the microphone.
I'm pretty sure some of it probably will.
It might. These are typically pretty good at filtering out bullshit ambient noises like that, though. We'll see.
That's true.
We can't skip over this. Oh, our favorite character, good old Daniel, he made deputy mayor for communications.
Do you think so? The chick that was like already there, is she like his chief of staff? Is that her role in Fisk's organization?
Got to be something high up there.
Do you think she finally has just said fuck it?
I hope so. I don't like the conversation she had with Daniel at the ball.
Yeah.
That did not bode well for Sheila. That's her name.
Yeah.
That did not bode well for Sheila.
No. He was like, yeah, I'm not really that worried about it anymore. Because it kind of felt like she was trying to like win him over a little bit. And that's why I'm just like, has she just said fuck it? Like, was Fisk making this fucking moron deputy mayor of communications? Like, was that it? Was that just the last straw where she's just like, you know what? I'm just going to let them do whatever they're going to do.
It might be like that, bro. It might be like this, right? Imagine that you're on the Titanic and you see the iceberg and you're like, hey, guys, look, there's a big-ass iceberg. There's still time. If we do the right things, we can get out of the way of this thing. And instead, like, the actual captain of the ship and, like, one of his left-hand man is like, no, I think if we go full speed ahead, we can just go through it.
I'd be like, cool, I'm going to get on one of these lifeboats right now.
Yeah. Except poor Sheila has no lifeboat. So, I mean, she seems like a career politician of some sort. So, she might just be kind of stuck here.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, making Daniel the deputy mayor for communications is an awful idea because Daniel is terrible.
Yeah. Daniel is like the worst in all the wrong ways. He is awful.
But we all know a Daniel.
We all know a Daniel.
His name should have been Todd.
His name should have been Todd. And he's just this ass kissing, brown nosed, like false bravado motherfucker. But like when the shit actually goes down, they're nowhere to be seen.
And he doesn't have a single functioning brain cell for himself. Like, he gives his brain to the person he worships and he's basically like saying, Fisk, think for me.
Yeah.
He's one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, and I think BB has had his number from jump.
Yeah, well, he did unfortunately have one up on her the last episode with the task force shit, which is why he made, this new position.
Yeah.
Because he did strong arm BB into putting out that bullshit ass piece about the task force being the ones to stop Muse and not Daredevil.
I love that we learn in this episode that she's been playing them. You know? Which we already kind of suspected, but she finally came out with it like, I know that he was the main suspect in my uncle's death. I was like, that's got to come up at some point.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm here. Like, when it's all said and done and, like, Fisk finally goes down, if it was for Ben's murder, I would love that shit.
Oh, yeah, same.
That would be amazing.
That would be great, right? Because if you think about it, so much of the other shit that Fisk has done is tied up in shell corporations or like 6 degrees of separation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, there's just probably not enough hard evidence to get Fisk. They have to get him like Al Capone.
Yeah.
But instead of like tax evasion for the murder of Ben Urich, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was all personal. That was something he did with his own hands.
Yeah. He just couldn't like maintain his composure and let that shit get away from him.
Yeah. So that would be extremely poetic if he went down
Yeah.
with Ben's murder. Let's see. Yeah, Matt goes to Josie's, and it was so funny because at first when Matt is standing outside of the bar, I was like, oh man, Josie's is shut down, and I almost wrote it down, and then the door opened, and Josie herself was like, hey, you coming in?
Yeah.
And I was like, never mind, because the shit looks rough.
Yeah, it does. It looks real bad. I mean, it did like explode.
Yeah, that's true. But almost as soon as Matt gets in there and starts drinking with Josie, it's not long before Cherry shows up.
Yep.
Cherry was telling Matt, and those two have a pretty candid conversation. And it's here when Matt starts to put some of the pieces together.
Yep. That they find out that the O'Melvenies, they only drank that when they were celebrating a win.
Yep.
And Foggy had not, and he already had ordered some. And this is where Matt puts together that he knew he was going to win that case that he was working on, and he was celebrating early.
Yep. And so at this point, he realizes Fisk probably, in Matt's mind, Fisk definitely put Dex up to this.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't just a random spur of the moment, murdering spree. He had actual targets.
Which, I don't know that Matt knows this or not, but, like, Fisk was still gone back then, right?
Yeah. You're right, but I don't know how much of that was, like, public.
Right,
knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think it was, because only the, like, underground knew about Echo shooting him.
Yeah.
Because they had branded her the King Killer.
Right.
Yeah, so, like, that was, like, a special code name that they had for her. Like, they kept all of that hush-hush. Because if Fisk was going to live, they didn't want people to know he was weak.
Yep.
And so, yeah, like, Matt may not even know about any of that.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he doesn't.
And come to find out, it wasn't Fisk anyway.
Yep. What's he twist?
What the twist?
So as soon as Matt puts those pieces together, that somebody most definitely set up Bullseye to kill Foggy, he leaves immediately and beelines it for what's the jail they're at? Rikers.
Yeah. And this scene was amazing.
Bruh. So he gets there and he immediately has a sit down. Well, Bullseye is sitting down, Matt is standing up. But he has a conversation here with our good old friend Poindexter. And what you think of the scene, man?
Loved it.
Yeah.
The way that Matt treats him is amazing. He's like, when he fucking came over, he was like, "Oh, you want me to get you an appeal?"
Yeah.
Fucking, you can just tell Matt just fucking loathes.
Absolutely. I was gonna say it's everything within Matt to not hurt this motherfucker, but
Yeah, dude, bro, I lost my shit when he just goes up and just slams his head on the table repeatedly. Gets to the side of the room, calls the guards, and he's like, "Yeah, he just started beating his head on the table."
And Dex, he's not even trying to defend himself. He's not even trying to say this crazy motherfucker just slammed my head, and he's like, all right, Matt, I got you.
Yeah. So, do you think Matt knew? So this is the thing that's kind of lingering for me is, do you think Matt basically helped him get out? Like, do you think that Matt knew that he dislodged the tooth, or did Matt just miss it because he was so pissed, and he didn't intend for Dex to get out?
I definitely think it's the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't see him letting Dex out under any circumstances, Fisk or not.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, that would be some wild shit if he did that shit on purpose.
Unless he's just taking Frank's advice.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can't get to him in here, but if he gets out, I could kill him. You know?
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. Right. But that would be some crazy shit. They're gonna put you away for a long time for premeditating a murder for a year and some change.
Yeah. But I love the line. Well, cause I guess, guys, basically the reason why Matt is here is to try to extract information from Bullseye about if he was hired or not to shoot Foggy. And Bullseye is willing to give Matt some information if Matt can get him out of there. And Matt's like, there's no fucking way I'm filing an appeal for you.
Yeah.
You lunatic. You killed my best friend. I also want to point this out, too. I thought this was very sly, subtle, and very cool that the show did this. Matt says something like, why the fuck would... He didn't say fuck yet here. But he says, why would I defend you? And Bullseye says, because that's what you do. You're a good guy, and good guys defend the people they hate the most. He says something to that effect. And when you juxtapose that with, like, the end of this episode... Yeah. It kind of brings it all home there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the fuck you that he drops here, because I just loved it, man. Honestly, this is like the most Kevin thing I've ever seen Charlie Cox do, because the way he says it is exactly the way I would picture Kevin saying it.
It was with so much spite.
Yeah.
So the way that it happens is the prison guard is taking away Poindexter, and Dex says something like, "Good to see you again, counselor." Without missing a beat, Matt just goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
It was with so much, like, there was so much hate on the F. You know, like, it was all capitalized.
He like Dex doesn't even have the word counselor completely out of his mouth yet. Before Matt has this "fuck you" just locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Ready to roll.
It was so pointed.
It was.
You know? It was great. Yeah. Again, maybe my favorite F-bomb of Marvel Disney so far.
To me, it's still Hector's niece.
Oh, Angela, yeah.
I can't remember what she said, but it was like, I'm not going to the fucking cops or something like that.
That was great, too, because it's this little kid.
On Disney Plus, dropping F-bombs.
Like, what universe are we in?
It is a dark timeline, but it's not the darkest.
That's right. That is right.
Superman Lives never got made.
Oh, man. Yeah, so it's after this that we get the opening scenes of the black and white ball.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that goes on here. So what I want to do, actually, is I want to talk about Bullseye escaping and then the entire black and white ball.
Man... As soon as, like, that guard went to go, like, try to get his hands or whatever back shackled, I was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Well, first of all, having his hands unshackled at all was a terrible idea.
Yeah. I actually thought that when he put the sutures in, I thought that he was actually going to use those. He was going to use the sutures and kill people.
No, I knew it was a tooth. It was going to be a tooth. As soon as I saw him, like, shifting his tongue around his mouth, I said, oh, it's a tooth. And, yeah, sure enough. And this shit was brutal. He spit launches a tooth into the prison guard's eye. And then from there, it's just complete death and mayhem to anyone in that room whose name isn't Poindexter.
I can't fathom what it must feel like to have someone spit a tooth through your eye, but it seems bad.
There has to be a moment of confusion, right?
Right. Where you're like, what the fuck just put me in this much anguish?
Yes. Like, was I shot? No, he spit something at me. I think it's a fucking tooth in my head, that doesn't belong there.
I don't know that this guard had much time to think about any of that, though, because I'm pretty sure it went all the way to his brain.
Yeah. So. And even if it didn't, Bullseye killed him anyway.
Yeah.
So what Bullseye ends up doing here is, what's funny is, like, when I was taking my notes, I never called him Bullseye until here.
Yeah.
You know, and then was like, oh yeah, this is fucking Bullseye now. But he takes a prison guard uniform, you know, dresses up, and he's able to make his escape that way. And I was like, motherfucker, this is terrible.
Yeah, this is not good for anyone.
Oh man. So yeah, we will come back to Poindexter in just a moment. I mean, in the meantime, the black and white ball.
The balls on Vanessa. She comes out at the black and white ball wearing a solid red scarlet dress.
Yes.
That takes some cojones, man.
It does.
That is some flashy shit.
Right. And I'm like, you know, that's some real Bridezilla shit you pulled there too, Vanessa. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Everyone else is, you know, has to abide by the rules of the ball, but you know, you get to dress up in this fucking, you know, crimson red dress of yours.
Part of me wanted Fisk to be in like a Cody Rhodes pinstripe suit.
Well, the problem is there is no adrenaline in his soul.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
he couldn't do it, or melanin.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said it because that's all I could think of. I did not love. I actually kind of was hoping that Fisk was still gonna have the red bow tie on also.
Yeah.
But because he looked wrong in the solid white suit.
Solid white.
They should have gave him like a black bow tie at least.
Or what's wrong with him having like the purple ascot? You know.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
But just like the complete solid white suit, man, he just looked, something was wrong. He looked like a painter. Like he just been somewhere with like, he was painting a room white, you know?
Yeah. Oh man. You know, we do get this scene here with with Daniel and BB. And I love the way that this scene is being played out because at first, I was like, I don't understand why BB chooses to be friends with this guy because the way she was playing it almost made it seem like, yeah, they have some differences, some political differences, but there is a genuine friendship there to a degree. And if there is, it's one-sided.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't even think that there's a one-sided friendship there. I think that Daniel thinks that he's playing BB.
Yeah.
You know?
I do think, though, that he thinks that he's going to get to hit it. Like,
oh, wow.
Like, because you got to think, Daniel definitely has incel vibes.
Absolutely.
BB is probably one of the few women that even entertains a conversation with him.
Right.
You know? So he probably immediately thinks, oh, well, this can go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I got this position now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's gonna love that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dog, she ain't gonna let you hit.
No.
I would be so mad.
Yeah. I would be tremendously pissed. But nah, she's playing him. But but she's playing him well enough to where he believes he's playing her. Mm-hmm. And that's like masterclass right there.
Yes. Let's talk about the scene where there is an undercover reporter or journalist that's there.
Oh, my God.
And Fisk gives the signal to Powell to go handle that. And Powell is such a piece of shit, man.
God, he is, dude.
I get upset now when I watch this show and he's still alive.
Yeah. Where you at, Frank?
You're right. So Powell takes this poor journalist into like the kitchen area, and there's of course a vat of hot grease. Commissioner Gallo walks in, and again proves that he is no Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
And you know, Commissioner Gallo is like, Powell, stop! You know, you're assaulting that man. And Powell's Powell's like, no, that's not assault yet. And then it's his hand, right? That he dips in the hot fucking oil.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of the guy. Powell has no care or respect for what Gallows has to say because what can the commissioner do when the mayor is the one who is approving all this?
Yeah, he's like, well, I don't work for you anymore, so kick rocks.
Yeah. And Gallo, all he could do was just sit there and watch. I'm like, bruh. Bruh.
And this is where we kind of start to get this little alliance between him and BB, which I think is going to be very interesting.
Same. I wonder how long this continues for. Like, does the task force make it past the finale?
I don't know. I don't think Powell makes it.
Yeah.
Past the finale.
Yeah. I know we're not there yet, man, but it would be tremendous if, again, motherfucking Frank Castle has to show up at some point.
God, I really wish, like, this would be the perfect time for him to show up.
Yeah, Daredevil is incapacitated at the moment. You know? So, I mean, and what's better than, one crazy psychopath with a gun? Another crazy. Another crazy psychopath with a gun, And they can just, equalize each other.
I don't know, man.
It'll be a long day at the office for Punisher.
Yeah, because the only way that like Frank is gonna kill Dex, like obviously, I mean, you're not gonna have just a straight up shootout with him.
Absolutely not.
That's not gonna go well.
Yeah,
he's just gonna shoot you in the head, Frank. I guess Frank could like blow up the building he's in.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
And the other thing that is a disadvantage is Frank doesn't kill innocent people, whereas Bullseye clearly has no problem.
No. But if Frank shows up with like a grenade launcher, he might be okay.
Yeah. I think obviously, like if Frank were to show up, he'd be wearing like the Kevlar vest Punisher thing.
Yeah.
And that'll probably soak a few bullets for him. I mean, because like I don't know how Matt can. I don't know what they do to put him back in the suit. Talking about Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Because how?
Yeah. I mean, granted, like I don't think that bullet wound hit anything lethal.
But that was a big ass caliber.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and he went fucking down.
Yeah.
But but I guess we're skipping ahead a little bit. There was also the interesting scene with I never know how to pronounce this motherfucker's name because it's all French. Jack Ducon, the swordsman.
Yeah. And Fisk.
Yeah.
Where Fisk is like taking people into the side room and like bullying them into funding this project.
Strong arming them like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And he kind of threatened to reveal him as swordsman.
Yep.
Who we first saw back in what? Hawkeye?
Yeah. Fun fact, swordsman, he started off as a Hawkeye villain.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to see this dude playing this character after seeing him in Better Call Saul.
Right.
Where he was a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, he's such a good actor.
He really is, yeah.
Tony Dalton, folks. He's really good. So that was an interesting scene there. Matt, when he finally shows up to the ball, he is still acting batshit crazy.
Yeah. You thought maybe he'd have chilled out a little bit, but he's maybe more unhinged now.
Oh, yeah, because he's in the belly of the beast, and so is his girlfriend. And she doesn't know anything to make her the wiser.
No.
So she's worried, and Matt does this thing that I have also done before, but I don't have super hearing, and it's when she's talking and he zones the fuck out.
Yeah. Same.
And that's the thing, man. Like Matt has on the blind people glasses. Heather can still tell you're not listening to a fucking thing I'm saying, are you?
Yeah.
He was like, oh fuck.
Well, it's mostly because Matt is like doing this shit right here, and he just he was not listening to her at all.
Yeah. I'm like, Matt, you are not helping your case at all right now.
And she's livid, dude. Understandably livid. And then finally he questions her about Fisk again. And when that doesn't, when she refuses to like tell him or whatever that that Fisk is a client or any details, he's like, he tries to go back again to the whole like, well, he's targeting you to get to me or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, why would he do that? And he's like, let's go fucking ask him.
Yeah. And so Matt is beelining for Fisk, and Fisk has this look on his face like, oh shit. This is not part of the plan. And but then they hit the spotlight, and Fisk and Vanessa have the first dance.
Yep.
Matt, never wanted to be outdone, says, hold my fucking cane, and and he hits the dance floor.
Yeah.
And he's listening in the whole time to everything being said. This is very clever because Fisk knows that even like with the whisper, Matt can hear.
Yeah, so when Vanessa sees Matt, she goes up to Fisk and she's like, I got something I got to tell you. And he's like, oh, no, not here. Not right now.
Yeah, he knows, like, listen, if it's really confidential, don't say that shit around him.
Yeah. Not if we are in the same building with Matt Murdock, you don't say shit.
Yeah, so I guess it is important at this point to make the note that a new player has arrived. Bullseye has entered the arena.
Yep.
And he has stealthily killed his way up to the balcony, and now he has acquired a fucking rifle.
Yep, and this is like the one thing you don't really want him to have.
You don't want him to have distance, height, and a rifle.
Yeah. And, like, you definitely don't want him to have all three of those things.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't want him to have just one of those three things. But you definitely do not want him to have all of them.
Not all three. That's awful.
Yeah.
That's so bad for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt breaks off his dance with Heather and dances with Vanessa. I love the way he just cuts in there.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
And he's like, bitch, you killed my friend.
I think we might have watched a different version.
In so many words, he's like, bitch, you killed my friend. But no, he just cuts right to the chase, you know? Mm-hmm. You get it? He cuts to the chase because he cuts in, you know?
You suck!
All right. I think that was better than the one you made earlier, but...
Take that back.
But okay. But he gets right to it here with Vanessa. And he's just like, I know what you did. I know that you had Foggy killed. And Vanessa is cool as a cucumber for the most part. I mean, now, the thing that's going to fuel all the speculation on the internet is when she's like, well, you need to calm down. So, do you think that this is like...
We talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's like, because in the comics, it kind of all goes back to this, right? It's like, could he actually be alive? And I, if that really is the case, this show has got to give me a hell of an explanation.
Bruh. I'm talking a crazy... What if at the end of season 1, she's like, your friend Foggy, he's still alive. And then it pans to Fisk and he takes off the mask.
Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh man. This is really fueling that speculation. That, and they also confirmed that Foggy and Karen are both coming back for season 2.
Yeah.
That's not helping the rumors either.
Yeah, no.
I'm with you, man. If Foggy is alive, they're really gonna have to fucking spin that web to make me cool with that decision.
Yeah. Something like it's gonna have to be like some kind of like protective custody or.
And how did he survive? That was a shit ton of blood.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
It wasn't a fake round that Bullseye shot him with.
No. No, not at all.
And like he very much looked dead there on the ground.
Yeah, and like Foggy wasn't.
Matt heard him die.
Matt heard his heart stop beating, and Foggy wasn't in some kind of, like it wasn't like Foggy was in on it. He was trying to fuck Kristen that night. He was trying to get some.
Right. Come on, like he was having a great evening.
Yeah, that's right.
Up until
now, the next thing that happens, I am gonna go ahead. Mm-hmm. I called this shit before episode 1.
What's that?
Where we were speculating about what that they could be going on with Born Again, and I said, what if there's a situation where Matt is actually having to protect Fisk from Bullseye killing him?
You did say that.
And I was like, as soon as he jumped in front of the bullet, I was like, ah!
You did call that shit. Absolutely.
Like, before episode 1, folks.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. To my credit, I said there's a good chance that Matt gets shot at the end of this episode.
You did, yep. You thought it was gonna be the cops.
The cops that do it. Yeah. He used to be cop adjacent.
Yeah, he was a fucking FBI agent. You know. He could probably get a job in the current FBI right now, but that's a different story. Yeah. Yeah. Well, are you, dog?
He's overqualified.
Didn't this guy just try to shoot the mayor? Yeah, whatever.
Well, you know.
He didn't get him. You know? He just shot some blind guy. Do you think Dex like saw Matt jump in front of the bullet and was like, "That's fine too"?
Right. Absolutely.
Like, well, that okay. I mean,
yeah. I'm trying to remember. Does Dex know that Matt is Daredevil?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, he's definitely like, "Oh yeah, this is great."
Yeah. He's like,
I'm out of jail, and I shot the one motherfucker who can definitely put me back.
Yeah. Yeah, the one guy who can like whoop my ass, wait for the police to get there, and then try the case to put me back in prison. Yeah.
No. He's like, my memory is a little fuzzy, but he threw me off a roof. Right.
Yeah.
And that shit hurt like a motherfucker.
Not to mention, like, just like that day beat his face in.
I'm not saying that Bullseye was right, but I'm not saying that I blame him either, though.
And the reason he wanted to kill Fisk is because, let's not forget this, Fisk broke his spine in half.
Yes. Yeah. Fisk straight up banged this motherfucker.
Although I think when Fisk did it, it wasn't even like on his knee. I think he went up against the corner of a wall.
Yeah.
And just like accordion this motherfucker.
Yeah. So fucked.
Oh my God, man. Oh. What an episode. And what a cliffhanger to set us up. I'm telling you, this season has been incredible. Mm-hmm. The only way they could fuck it up is if they somehow don't stick this landing.
I need them to stick this landing.
Yeah.
Like big time. I mean, hell, season 2 is already so far underway. Like we talked about last week, the set photos leaked of Matt in the black suit. They're just well underway, man. So they have more than an idea of what they want to do for season 2. Yeah,
man. At the end of the season, like Matt's gonna have rented this little like dingy clubhouse in Hell's Kitchen, and they're gonna walk in, and Karen's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And Matt's gonna be like, "This is the Defender Den," and Karen's gonna be like, "Okay, there's a lot of, is this gonna be like our Defender table?" And then Matt's gonna be like, "Yeah, and room for more."
God damn it. And then Luke Cage is gonna walk out of the kitchen with a tray of food, and Matt's gonna be like, "What are those?" And Luke's gonna say, "These are Defender tenders."
God damn it.
Oh shit. So what do you think happens in this finale?
I don't know, man. Like, honestly, obviously I want Frank to show up. Mm-hmm. It would be awesome if we got... Here's the problem with, like, a big cameo in the finale, right? Is you don't want it to take away from the story.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, like, somebody that's going to make sense, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like... Bullseye's just like shooting motherfuckers, and then like Sam Wilson shows up. I'd be like, well, Bullseye's gonna have a hard time with this.
So we have to remember, we know for a fact the swordsman is there.
Yeah. Yep, the swordsman's there.
Granted, I don't think he has a sword with him, but still, he is there.
Fucking Tom Holland is gonna be there, taking pictures and shit. And then they're gonna send Fisk is gonna be like, get this motherfucker out of here. And then he's gonna like fuck up the cops. You know?
Yeah. God damn.
Oh, that would be amazing, but there's no way that's gonna happen.
I know. That would be good though. That'd be so damn cool.
It would be so crisp. I don't know, man. I think Frank maybe shows back up. Somebody's gonna have to do something, bro, because Matt is not in a position to fight Bullseye right now.
No.
Or anyone, really.
Right, or anyone. He's losing a fight with consciousness.
Yeah, he probably can still beat us up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
he can still beat up Officer Powell.
Yeah, right, yeah. But like he can't fight like Fisk or Dex. Yeah, I don't know, man. Dex definitely has more bullets up there too. So he ain't done just because Fisk didn't get shot in. Like also now, like it's gonna be all over the paper that Matt is the one that saved him.
Yeah.
You know, so
and
like
Fisk is gonna hate that.
Fisk is absolutely gonna hate it.
Yeah. He's probably gonna try to keep that under wraps because they don't want any pictures in the ball.
Yeah.
Bet BB is there and hopefully she got something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's gonna get out, man, because everyone saw that shit.
Yeah. Man, I don't know exactly how Matt gets out of this. There's a lot that has to be done in next week's episode. I think that Heather needs to find out that he's Daredevil.
Yes.
I think that obviously they need to find a way to stop fucking Bullseye.
Yeah, that's like number one objective. You got to put this motherfucker back in prison or kill him.
Matt needs to find another roof, get him up there. Maybe this one should be like 2 stories higher.
Yeah. Toss this motherfucker off.
And if he is still alive, repeat the process.
Just find a slightly taller building. What if you're gonna do that, man? If you're trying to be precise, just go up 1 story at a time.
That's true. Yeah, because you don't want any unnecessary, falling.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to go too far.
Yeah, I feel like there's kind of a lot of ground they have to cover. Like, I think that it's got to end with the task force either being taken down and or exposed. Obviously, Bullseye has to be taken down as well. Fisk has to be painted like the monster that he is in the public eye, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's going to lose his position in the next episode, but he's going to be painted to look like a fucking villain in the public eye.
I think so. Even if that's like the last thing that happens.
Yep. And I think that I'm gonna step on a limb here and say I think that his relationship with Vanessa, something's gonna happen with that next episode.
Do you think that Matt is gonna tell Heather, or do you think Fisk is still gonna tell her? Because he was sure about to.
Yeah, he was. Oh, man.
And what is Fisk's reaction going to be when Vanessa does tell him that she put out the hit on Matt's best friend?
Kingpin's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
He's going to be turbo pissed. He's like, you don't know how fucking angry that blind motherfucker can get.
Yeah. Yeah, he might not be fucking with us so badly right now if all this weren't the case.
Just pan back to that shot of Daredevil sprinting towards Muse in the tunnel. Yeah, that motherfucker gets real angry real fast. So.
Oh, yeah. Like, that shit with Muse was horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't necessarily mean Muse. I mean Matt running through that tunnel.
Yeah.
Muse was also horrifying. So I don't know, man. I think that next episode, it's kind of like this one. I'm still walking into it blind. and I'm kind of excited about this. I really think that we're in for a hell of a finale, and I feel like we just got here though. I need season 2 to come out quickly.
Yeah. Hell, if they're filming now.
Oh, we should get it around the same time.
That's exciting. That is exciting. Have they confirmed that we're getting some Defenders in Born Again Season 2?
I think it's all just heavily rumored at this point.
Okay.
They haven't confirmed shit about Season 2, really.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So
they technically haven't even confirmed the black suit. They were just leaks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they will smartly wait until after the show is over to start talking about Season 2.
Yeah. I have heard a rumor that Kristen Ritter was spotted on set. So some Jessica Jones action could be in play.
4 episodes in, Kevin Feige's going to come in. You're all fired. We're going to start over.
Motherfucker. God damn it, Kevin.
No, I think that the people that put this season together, that put this final product out, pay them what they want to be paid.
Yeah.
Keep this shit going.
Yes. 100%.
Maybe give them the Kevin Feige spot over Marvel TV.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you this before we wrap up here. They still haven't come out and shown the face of the person who killed Hector Ayala.
Yep.
What do you think that's about?
It could be a setup for a next season villain. It could be Officer Powell, although when he told Matt that he wasn't involved in it, Matt believed him.
Yeah.
He used his senses and believed him. So, I don't know, man. Would it be crazy if it was the commissioner?
He ain't got the balls.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing would be is if it was Frank.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really insane. Yeah. Or what if it was like Buck? Or, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Daniel, but he doesn't have the balls.
No, yeah. He would have fucking tripped or something anyway.
But, Fisk was not happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what if. Yeah, that's a good point. Fisk could have had Buck dress up. And,
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fucking wild.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more to Buck, and I hope we get to see more of that.
Mm-hmm. That's if he makes it out of next episode.
That's true. Yeah, you got to live, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that's got plot armor, and I don't think you're one of them.
Yeah, he might have like level 1 plot armor. You know.
Yeah. He's
got the same plot armor that Wesley had. You know.
Right. Well. Yeah. He got killed by a fucking reporter.
That's true.
Like, fucking Matt has like level 5 plot armor. Yeah. He just got shot in the chest. So. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, well I guess let's give our final thoughts and score this episode.
Yeah, man. You first on this one. You got it.
Yeah, this was another really tremendous episode, man. For me, it was like, what episode was it? Maybe episode 5 or 6, the one that was right after the bank heist episode.
Yeah.
That episode I thought was like damn near flawless, and it was just like what you want from an episode of like gritty, grounded Daredevil television. And episode 8 I feel the same way about.
Yes.
I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, it was extremely well paced. There was like damn near no fat on this episode either.
No.
You know? Like, every scene meant something.
And it was a longer episode. It was like 52 minutes.
Right. Yeah, it had some length on it. That's what she said.
I mean, when Daredevil is going up the elevator, I'm just like, well, they're going to cut it off right here. Mm-hmm. And I used I picked up the remote and pressed it to see how much was left. And there was like 8 minutes left. And I was like, oh.
Bro, I thought they were going to end it when we saw like Bullseye on the train or on the bus, like leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And nope, kept going.
Nope.
So yeah, they did incredible with the pacing here, especially considering how much story they told in this episode. Like the shit with Adam was revealed. Like the shit with Heather and Matt's relationship is continuing to blow up. Bullseye, seeing him again and him getting out of prison in a really cool and gruesome fashion. This whole ball event is really cool. I mean, even like what you could consider like the B-tier stuff is so interesting, like with BB and Commissioner Gallo working together, and her still trying to take down Fisk because she does suspect him of killing her uncle. There's so much cool shit in this episode, and the fact that one episode removed, and we're still wondering how do they wrap this up in a good way.
Right? Yeah.
I think it speaks volumes for this show and for this episode in particular. I'm gonna give it a 9.4.
Last night when the episode went off, pretty much anything that we're going to review immediately when it goes off, I start thinking about what I might score it. And I went back and forth with myself last night, and then also I think a good portion of today about, do I want to give this another 10? Mm-hmm. Because it's really fucking good, man.
It is.
And I just kind of went back and forth on it. But the reason I'm not going to do that is because I feel like it is very much a part 1 of 2. Mm-hmm. And I need to see part 2 before I can really decide on that.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to give it a 9.8. Mm. I thought this was an incredible episode of television. I thought that I wondered going into this if it was going to feel weird that we wrapped up the Muse arc in the last episode, and then with 2 episodes left, we're kind of going into unfamiliar territory. The episode did a great way of not making it feel like that was the case, and we start to wrap up all these things that we've seen building over these last 8 episodes. That combined with the fact that we get to kind of see all these different facets of who Matt Murdock is, who Wilson Fisk is. For the first 7 episodes, they showed us how these 2 characters are the same. And in this episode, they showed us very much how they're different.
Yep.
I really loved all the storytelling here. We didn't get a ton of action in this, but what we did get was great. Yes. It was well done.
We got a great fuck you.
We did. We got an amazing F-bomb from Charlie Cox himself. And it was just filled with vitriol. It was like Walton Goggins in The Shield dropping an N-bomb. Just,
oh no!
It was just, it was horrific. But yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna give it a 9.8. I thought it was stellar, yes. Stellar television, and I cannot wait for the finale, man. I both can and can't, right? Because it's right. Like, I want to see it, but I don't want it to be over.
I know.
Thankfully, they're going to start gracing us with Andor right after that.
Right. Yeah, they spaced that perfectly.
They really did.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, and man, I really need to see this season finale.
Yes.
I am so hyped for this. So,
that's it, homies. The next thing that we're going to cover, we're going to be doing a recap of The Last of Us Season 1. Are we doing 2 episodes of that, or are we going to try to do 1?
Probably try to do 2. I
yeah.
We'll probably still do 2 before Season 2 comes out.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So yeah, we'll cover the first. Was this a 10-episode season?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll have the first 5 episodes for you guys, and then we'll cover the second half, and we're gonna kind of do like a recap / review of The Last of Us Season 1, and right after Born Again it ends, we're gonna start our Andor coverage. So that's gonna be we got a ton of shit going on, all the way leading up to when Thunderbolts finally comes out.
Yes.
And then maybe we can do an episode that's not a review. Maybe.
Just maybe. And along the way, we also have to do some more Fantastic Four.
Yes, we have. The next one is the best one.
The next one is the best one. Do with that what you will.
Yeah. Not the best Doom, but the best Fantastic Four movie is the one up next, and then it's only downhill from there, and it's up to First Steps to take us out on a high note.
We really need First Steps to be like the first really good Fantastic Four movie. Please.
Not to get us off on that, but like, I really didn't like the premise of this movie up until very recently. But I think I'm really going to enjoy it.
I don't even think I know what the premise is.
Well, the whole like they're being in the 60s thing.
Oh, yeah.
But when I read kind of the synopsis where they really want to try to capture it and shoot it kind of like a space race type movie.
Yeah.
And kind of get that sort of like 60s, like the space race optimism into it. I really dig that shit. And the fact that the family is going to be famous before they have their superpowers. Like, they're superheroes now and they're famous for that. But they already were like world famous just for being who they were before they got superpowers.
Yeah.
I really think that is just a fantastic way to go for it. To go for it.
No. You don't get it for that.
No, in all seriousness, though, I think that's a great way to set it up.
Yeah. I am cautiously optimistic for First Steps. We'll see what's gonna happen.
It's so hard to get right.
It is, man. It really is.
Unlike Blade,
That's the thing, right? They're like, man, we know that like they've never made a good Fantastic Four movie, but I think that we can do it. But this Blade thing, how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 really fucking good Blade movies.
Yeah.
And then, there was a third one.
Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds, Triple H, Norman Reedus, they were all there.
Just weird as fuck. But.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Thunderbolts I am looking forward to as well. I guess that is like the safer movie of the 2, out of Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. I can't wait to see how they don't beat the Century because what the fuck?
It's gonna be. I think Thunderbolts might be just this kind of dark horse, right? Where I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna have a damn near Guardians of the Galaxy level reception.
It could. It very well could. And some of the characters definitely have like the charisma and the bravado to do it, and some of those characters need that.
Yes. Yes. And then we found out that they're gonna heavily play into Doomsday,
or at least they'll be in it.
Yeah, that's true. In my opinion, the extent of them in Doomsday is going to be like, oh, well, we don't have the Avengers. Let's call these guys. And I think Doom is just going to fuck them up. Maybe not kill them all, but they're not going to do well.
Mm-hmm. Man, I could go all day like with theories and whatnot.
Yeah.
What I want to happen, what I think could happen. I mean, I would love to see a different version of Wakanda in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Fantastic Four, Black Panther made his first appearance in that. I would love to see a connection there. And obviously Doom or Liberia and Wakanda have a very interesting, sordid history as well. So, it'd just be cool to see.
Yeah, what if like, just like a couple minutes into the movie, Reed is like, oh yeah, I would love to, but I got a meeting with the King of Wakanda, and he walks in, and Aldous Hodge is just sitting there.
Oh my! Oh, you mean me? Because
I don't.
the disrespect is getting out of hand.
Well, maybe you could be the Fox X-Men T'Challa, and then that universe, is probably going to get deleted. So,
why can't I just swap places with Aldous Hodge though?
Because he's more famous.
And there you have it, folks. The truth of the matter has come out. Well, on that sad note, I think it's time we go ahead and wrap this one up. Homies, hopefully you guys have enjoyed both this review and the episode itself. Another tremendous episode of Daredevil Television. Can't wait for the finale. Can't wait to go ahead and review that as well.
Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be all for now, folks, but we will see you guys again very soon. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.